Patrick, can you introduce yourself for us?
My name is Patrick Bach, and I'm the executive producer for Battlefield 3.
That's great. Tell us a bit about the game and the new Frostbite engine.
So Battlefield 3 is, of course, a sequel to Battlefield 2, which was released like 5 years ago. So we've been waiting for quite some time to develop the technology so we can actually build this game, because the goal for us was to create, something that actually moved the whole industry forward when it comes to first-person shooters. So it took us quite some time to get all the systems right, so we can actually spot the difference between this game and other games. In general, the Frostbite 2 engine is a magnificent piece of software, because it does so many things to improve on the Battlefield experience. Everything from lighting is improved to all the environments look super realistic. Animation system makes all characters come to life. And really change the way you look at in-game characters. There's also the audio that we've been improving on. Even though we had a really good audio system before, we knew that we need to push that envelope even further as well. Destruction has been a big part of the Battlefield series lately, so we of course needed to improve on that area as well, especially now when we're moving into more urban settings. And in general, the whole scale of the game needs to be even wider. We have this huge open landscapes as well as really tight, narrow indoor environments, so everything has been improved.
That sounds great, particularly when you're speaking about destruction. We noticed that it's not just the big explosions anymore, not the big buildings collapsing, but also little chunks of the wall that you can blow up, and the characters as well. So tell us a bit about that, mate. Why, what made you go into that much detail?
I think in general the lack of destruction and the ability to affect the environment around you has been, I see it as a limitation to games in general for a long time, especially games that try to portray some kind of realistic rendition of the world around you. Especially in a game when you have guns, big or small guns. They should be able to affect the environment, and we've been trying to push this for quite some time with the Bad Company series, and now even further with the Battlefield 3. Right. So in general, if it's a small cover that you're hiding behind, you should be able to chip away small pieces from that. But and also if you have a big tank or something, you should be able to blow a big hole in a building. So we think it's a natural part of the environment.
Alright, this sounds good. I mean, obviously realism is a big part of this game. Yeah. Speaking of realism, the storyline revolves quite a lot around Iran and Iraq. So how much of it has to do with what's really going on at the moment?
When we actually started writing the story, we wanted to be a fictional game based on a what-if scenario. So it's not supposed to be a kind of realistic political documentary of any kind. So it's all based on fiction. So when we started this the whole project, this area wasn't that sensitive. It's actually started to become more sensitive recently as we've been developing the game, which makes it of course a bit more harsh for us to continue doing whatever we want, because we really want to be sensitive about how we portray stuff and don't get too political.
Right. Speaking of which, I mean, considering we're in the Middle East, I mean, as Middle East gamers, is it going to be anti-Arab or anti-Muslim in any way?
Oh no! We're not. We're staying away from everything that has to do with religion. We at DICE, we're Swedish, so we're extremely pacifist, and we don't really take a stand when it comes to conflict. We're a neutral country, so right. To us that's a very good standpoint, because we don't have to pick sides in a way. But then again, whatever fiction you try to create, if you want to create drama, you need to see it from one person's perspective. Right. So we try to go very personal when we make games, so you see it from a person's perspective rather than a political standpoint or the American army or something. So it's a personal story with a personal agenda. And we know that people all over the world get placed in situations that they might not like, but they have to do it. So we try to see it from that personal perspective.
Alright, sounds good. And also, can you tell me what the difference is going to be between the PC and the console versions?
In general, we actually get all the systems that we have running on the PC, and hopefully that you've seen in the demo, will actually be a part of the console version as well. It's because when we pushed the envelope for the PC, that actually pushed us even further to get it to run on the consoles. So in general, all the systems will be the same. So it will look more or less the same on the console.
Right.
Of course, there are some, better CPUs, more memory, more bandwidth. So there will be some graphical changes, of course, on the PC with higher resolution, higher frame rate, and of course some of the graphical enhancements like motion blur will be of higher detail and stuff like that. We're also going to see, we have 24 players on the console, and we're going to have even more on the PC. So we're going for 64 players on the PC, but keeping the graphical fidelity that you've seen earlier.
Right. And just judging by what we've seen, it's the earliest, it's the best looking sort of Battlefield so far. Do you think you're finally going to outsell the Modern Warfare series?
I can't comment. I don't sell games. I make games, so I don't know. It's actually up to the consumers to pick what game they prefer. We're trying to build the best possible Battlefield game, so we're not trying to build a copy of someone else. And I think that's one of the reasons why the game looks so good right now, because we're not trying to, copy what someone did last year. We're trying to move the whole genre forward. So I'm hoping that the consumers, will pick it up and at least try it out.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you.